Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss superposition of waves. What is superposition of waves? So it is actually related to the interference of waves. Interference of waves. When the waves interfere with each other, what happens? Basically there are somehow three cases happens, okay? Number one is interference of waves means that it is actually a combination of waves, combining waves. Okay, so when the waves in which the in which both the waves they are having same phase, like for example this is one wave and it is interfering another wave of the same phase. The resultant wave would be having higher amplitude and higher energy. So this sort of interference is called constructive interference. Constructive interference. Constructive interference is a type of interference, where two waves having same phase, having same or equal phase combine together. In such case, crest of one wave combine with the crest of another wave, and so the trough of one wave also combine with the trough of another wave. As a result, the amplitude of wave increases and total energy of the wave also increases. Total energy of wave also increases. Okay, so this is one condition of the interference of wave, in which the two waves having same phase, in which the crest of one wave combined with the crest of another wave and the trough of one wave combined with the trough of another wave. If such interference occurs, we call this type of interference as constructive interference. Okay, so there is the change of phase is actually 0 degree. Okay, change of phase. This change of phase is actually 0 degree. In the second case is destructive interference. Destructive interference. In destructive interference is such type of interference in which both waves they are having totally opposite phases. This is one wave and another wave is like this. So both the wave they combine. If both the wave they are having opposite phases, opposite phase means that the angle difference between is 180 degree, or we can say that the phase difference between these two is pi radian, okay, or 180 degree. So the phase difference between these two waves is pi radian. So here the resultant wave would be not a wave at all, okay, because each wave, the wave will cancel each other effect. Okay, why? Because the phase difference is 180 degree pi radian. One wave is having the opposite, so the crest of one wave will combine with the trough of another wave. Okay, as a result, both the wave will cancel each other effect, and so the energy, total energy of the wave will become zero. So we can say that the destructive interference is a type of interference, is another condition of interference, is a type of interference where crest of one wave combine with trough of another wave. So what will happen as a result? The energy decreases. Why? Because the amplitude, it also decreases. So the amplitude decreases, energy decreases, and so the total energy remains zero. Wave will not remain a wave at all. So this is somehow destructive interference. Third phenomena happens, we can say that if there is a case that if the phase difference is neither 0 degree, okay, or if the phase difference this is neither 0 degree, or if the phase difference is neither 180 degree or pi radian. So what will happen? Such a case where the phi is greater than 0 and lesser than 180 degree, this phase difference, when such a case happens, we call this phenomena as superposition of wave, as superposition of wave. In this superposition phenomenon or process, what happens that there is somehow a little bit difference between the two wave. Okay, there is the phase difference between these two wave is not that much. Like for example, this is one wave, okay, and at the same time another wave is also getting ahead of another wave. So the resultant wave would be, what will happen? We combine the resultant wave would be the combination of both these wave. So according to superposition of wave, what is superposition? Is a phenomenon of wave where the phase difference between two wave is more than 0 degree but less than 180 degree. In such a condition, what we do? We apply the superposition principle. So according to the superposition principle, this both wave will be added up. For example, this is one wave y1 and the blue, this is y2. Okay, the net wave would be equal to y1 plus y2. We are going to add up both these wave. Okay, so how we are going to add up? For example, suppose this one wave y1 is equal to y1 is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Okay, the second wave is moving ahead. Second wave is moving ahead of this first wave. This is first wave, and this is the second wave y2. It is a little bit ahead of first wave. Okay, with this little bit phase difference. Okay, so we are going to write the wave function of the second wave as alpha sine kx minus omega t plus phi. Why phi? Because the second wave is little bit ahead of the first wave with this much difference. Okay, so in some books they write instead of alpha as a capital A. That doesn't matter. You can write small alpha or you can write capital A. So according to the superposition principle, to net wave is equal to y1 plus y2. So y net is equal to y1 is alpha sine kx minus omega t plus alpha sine kx minus omega t plus phi. Okay, so the common term here is amplitude. Amplitude are both same in both the wave. So y is equal to alpha sine kx minus omega t plus sine kx minus omega t plus phi. Such a condition. Now here this is one angle, sine angle, this is another sine angle. So whenever we are adding up two sine angles like sine alpha plus sine beta, what we are going to do, this trigonometric identity, this is a trigonometric identity. Keep in mind that adding two sine angles, it is always equal to 2 sine alpha plus beta over 2 cosine alpha minus beta divided by 2. So we have to arrange this expression. We have to arrange this expression in this form, because this is one angle, this is alpha angle, and this is beta angle. So we are going to arrange this wave equation in this form. So y is equal to alpha sine kx minus omega t plus sine plus kx minus omega t plus phi divided by 2 cosine kx minus omega t minus sine minus kx minus minus plus omega t plus minus phi divided by 2. So here y is equal to alpha 2 sine 2kx plus 2 omega t plus phi divided by 2 cosine kx will cancel each other, omega t will omega t, only remaining factor is minus omega over 2. Keep in mind that cosine is always taken along the x-axis or in trigonometry. Okay, in trigonometry there is a rule that all the cosine minus values, minus alpha or minus theta, it is always equal to cosine plus, the cosine minus values are always equal to their plus values. Okay, why? Because the x values, these are antidependent values, so their positive and negative values does not affect it, but the sign sign is different. Okay, so y is equal to alpha 2 sine 2 kx plus omega t over 2 plus phi over 2 cosine. Okay, so let's arrange. This will cancel with this. Alpha 2 sine kx plus omega t plus phi over 2 cosine omega theta over 2. So we will multiply this amplitude with this internal values. So y is equal to 2 alpha sine kx plus omega t plus phi over 2 cosine 5/2. So this is how you can arrange. In some books this value is written like 2a cosine 5/2 sine kx